How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling good too. We got a lot of fun on tap here for folks Monday to Friday, 4 to 5.
For a full hour, we will be joining you guys, just really honed in on everything that happens in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. What do you think since you've moved down here?
Listen, I have to agree. You know, and I'm H-Town through and through at this point. Coco, you know I got a 713 number now, so I'm official.
How'd you go old school? How'd they throw you back? You're supposed to be like 346 or something.
But you know what? I'm lucky that people ask me, what's your number? 713. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, you're the real deal.
Yeah, I'm the real deal now.
You bought that from somebody, huh?
Ain't no wrong with it. Got to pay to play, baby. All right, Coco. All right, so we got a lot to talk about here in this next hour. We are dishing out on some of the locally owned hot sauces that's happening here. So
yes,
we'll do a little taste test.
Hot sauce. Que rico, some salsa. We also got the Space Cowboys coming up here. They've got a lot happening over the summer. If you've never been out to Constellation Field, it's so great.
And you know, we talked about it because I've never been to a game down there just yet. So I'm paying close attention because I want to go to one of those games here this summer as well. And then King of the Hill, they got a reboot that's happening, but we also got some breaking unfortunate news. We'll tell you about that as well. So a lot of ground to cover here in the next hour.
Yes, we're going to start off with hurricane season, guys. We're in it.
We are in it.
Are you used to it now? How long
you know
have you been in Texas?
I've been here 2 years, and I will say I've never experienced anything like that before. But I tell you, Hurricane Beryl, that was like one for the books for me. That's all I needed is one. Now I'm going to be prepared because I wasn't as prepared as I would have liked to have been.
Yeah. Have you ever been in an earthquake?
Never been in an earthquake, no.
So I have been in both, obviously. Really? I almost prefer an earthquake because it just shakes you.
We got preferences now.
I mean, but a hurricane really is just it dreads and it goes on and it's anticipating how bad and you're worried about your family and friends in different areas. So definitely stick with us, guys. We have hurricane kits and all kind of stuff that you can get here and be ready.
I am, and you know, JD is always doing the hurricane preparedness kits, and he's always telling people what to get and when to expect it. So June 2nd to I believe is the end of November, hurricane season.
Yeah, so it goes quite a long ways, and we've heard it's going to be maybe a little more active than normal.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so we also know that there are storm chasers, right?
Yeah. I don't know why we have them, but shout out to you if you're a storm chaser out there because I don't have the guts to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, let's get in the house.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming from that direction. I'm going that direction.
Absolutely. But now there's a thing called cyclone chasers. And our meteorologist, John Dawson, now he's going to introduce us to a man who's known for tracking down tropical systems.
And I'm excited to have an interview today with a friend of mine who currently lives along the Mississippi coast and has been there in a new house for a year. And Josh, you've actually been living there more part-time longer than that. But I just want to talk a little bit about life on the coast. And Josh Morgerman is what I'll call a professional storm chaser, but not tornadoes or those little things. You like to chase cyclones, the big ones. And it's an international, a worldwide event. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us who might not be familiar with what you do.
Yeah, exactly. I chase cyclones, or what we call hurricanes in the U.S., but are called typhoons in East Asia, cyclones down in Australia. There's no worldwide term for it, but that's what I do. And unlike a lot of other storm chasers, I'm very narrowly focused. I only hunt hurricanes. It's my specialty and it's what I do. And I'm the world record holder in terms of how many I've been in. I've gone inside the inner cores of 80 hurricanes.
Yeah, Josh, that's a crazy number, by the way, to say that you've been inside of 80 landfalls. The center core of those storms is really amazing. And we are going to have some other conversations later about some of those types of adventures. But for today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what you've done. A year ago, you completed building a house that is hurricane resistant, or I'll let you sort of use the language that you want to, but you decided, I want to live on the coast and I want to live there as safely as possible. I know there's some things that we can do to make that happen, and you did it. So tell us a little bit about that process and just a little bit about, again, living on the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, so I live in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, which happens to be ground zero for some of the most ferocious hurricanes in American history. This was where Category 5 Hurricane Camille came ashore in 1969 with estimated sustained winds of 175 miles an hour. And it was also ground zero for Hurricane Katrina. And I don't know, there's something about me. I was just drawn to this place. Well, it's a beautiful old town, but I think, you know, that there's that side of me that likes living on the edge, living right on the Gulf Coast, right where the action is. But I decided if I'm going to build a house here, I got to build it right, because our history is also the future. There's going to be more big hurricane assaults here.
And we're going to be able to spend some more time again on a later episode of Forecasting as Friends, because I'm headed out to see you in about a week or so. We're going to be able to talk a lot of details about that house that you've built and those very specific things that you have addressed to make it more resistant to a hurricane attack like that. But just this idea that you've entered into a community, you're not from the Gulf Coast originally, but you've been there for about 5 years or so, part-time. Just tell us a little bit about what you feel, and especially with the big anniversary of Katrina coming up.
Yeah, I love living down here. I'm not a native, obviously. I grew up in the New York City area, and then I spent most of my adult life in LA in California. So this is sort of a new life for me down here, and I absolutely love it. There's some part of me, I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of your viewers, but I love that kind of hot, muggy nighttime air. I love it. Like I'm in heaven this time of year, and I just love something about the lifestyle down here. And also for me, as someone who really, like, obviously I'm very kind of, I follow hurricanes very closely. I like living on the Gulf Coast because I feel like I'm right in the front row to kind of observe what's happening and just be ready to hunt anything down. And also, honestly, I just like the pace of life down here. It's a little easier than living in a big city.
All right, and what about the anniversary coming up of Katrina? What are your neighbors and what are the kind of the feel, the vibe that's still there? I'm sure if you look around, you could still see some of those impacts.
You cannot overstate the impact of Katrina here, not just in Bay St. Louis, but the entire Mississippi coast. This coast was it was like a nuclear bomb from here to Pascagoula. The destruction, you can't even put it into words. The arc of everyone's life here changed with Katrina. Like literally, people talk about their lives. There's before Katrina and there's after, because of, just personal displacement, relationships destroyed, businesses ruined. And it's been a 20-year sort of, rebuilding process. What I could say now, that all sounds very dark. The good thing I could say now is coastal Mississippi is absolutely booming. It's in a good place. A lot of it's built back. There's still scars. You still see the bare slabs or stairways leading to nothing where there'd once been homes. But it's kind of roaring back. And I mean, John, you've been to Bay St. Louis and you've seen it. The downtown was almost completely destroyed in Katrina, and now it's once again thriving and vibrant. And this town is it's coming back to life. And, in my own small way, I'm part of it, building a home here.
Yeah, and I think that's a good for you to point out to us. Many of us have those visual images of Katrina and New Orleans because, I mean, that was hit so hardly, and that was, again, so hard, and it was such a visual thing to put on television. But Katrina's impacts were all along east of New Orleans, and like you said, just sort of scraped the coastline clean, and a lot of that's been rebuilt quite a bit. So that's been impressive that y'all have kind of been able to make that, and I'm excited to get out there. I do want to kind of wrap things up for today and just give some folks opportunities to find out more about you. I know you're very active on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also you've got a website that has... Do you have all 80 of those eye wall penetrations about on that website?
Oh, yeah. I'm like an artist with his portfolio. If you go to my page, icyclone.com, letter I, word cyclone, on the Chases page, it looks sort of like, it almost looks like a quilt. Each square is a different hurricane, and all 80 are there. And I keep it updated. Every time I notch a new one, it goes on.
Yeah, and what's impressive again is I don't think until you really get a chance to learn more about Josh, it's the international side of things. So often we see so much happening here in the U.S., but you're off in other countries more than you're in the U.S. when you're chasing cyclones.
Oh, exactly. Only about a third of my hurricane chasing happens in the United States. Most of it is abroad, either in Mexico, Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, Australia, really all over the world. I don't have any boundaries. I'm just wherever there's a hurricane, I'm on it.
All right. Well, Josh, I'm excited to come see you in a week or so. We're going to have interviews from that visit as well. If you want to find out more about Josh, it's icyclone.com. Did I get that right?
You got it right, and that's my handle on all the social media platforms.
All right. So you can check him out on all the other socials as well.
I gotta follow that guy.
Yeah, I can't wait for John to go and see him. But yeah, right? It takes a certain kind of courage to do something like that.
And he is on the front lines doing it. So congrats to him. Couldn't be me.
Absolutely.
But I appreciate him sharing his thoughts and perspectives.
No, absolutely. Right? I mean, someone's got to get that POV. His POV is different from
you know what I'm talking
else's.
about. I love it. Coco, June 2nd, school right around the corner is going to be closing. Lots of kids going to be home for the summertime.
Absolutely.
And, parents got to find a nice little balance between having fun, but also making sure the education part is still happening through the summer as well.
Yeah, it was really important for us to bring in Dr. Julie Baker. Now she's with the Barbara Bush Houston Literacy Foundation, and a lot of kids need to keep that reading going. That's what Mrs. Bush is. I mean, that was her whole goal.
Absolutely, and we talk about fun or learning, and we like to call it fun learning.
Fun learning,
and
right?
That's what we need to do to provide opportunities. Many children, especially low-income children and children who are English language learners, really lose ground. It's scientifically proven.
Yeah.
Children can lose ground over the summer. We call it the summer slide, summer learning slide. And so the best thing that parents can do is to keep their kids engaged. Yeah. Turn off the TV, turn off the technology, go to a library, find some camps that are going on in the summertime, and just do some fun things, but keep them reading too. That's one of the most important things that parents can do to mitigate summer learning loss.
Go ahead.
No, I'm thinking there aren't very many libraries still kind of around. What counts as reading? I mean, could you read something digitally? What counts as reading?
Absolutely, you can read something digitally. If that's the mode. In fact, both of the public libraries have great collections of free books, and so we talk about libraries, but it doesn't have to be a physical book. We really promote physical books with really young children, because they need to hold a book, they need to engage with a book, and kind of turn off that device. But older kids, as long as they're reading, they can read the newspaper, read current events that are going on, find topics that they love, and keep and find books and find things for them to, whether it's sports, whether it's trains, whether it's cars, whether it's Barbie dolls, whatever it might be, to keep your kid active and keep them learning over the summer.
Yeah. Do you want to, as a parent, kind of focus on like elementary school kids or high school kids, or like how do you find the best way to do that? You're like, well, who needs it the most?
Well, all kids need to mitigate the summer learning loss, but it's really mostly the younger children predominantly. Whether or not you have kids who are getting ready to enter pre-K or kindergarten, get them set up for reading success and school success. Start early before they even start school, getting them into some routines. Because those are some of the forming those habits of getting up, getting yourself ready, reading, but those habits of making sure that you're spending quality time reading. We always say,
how much time?
At least 20 minutes. I'm so glad you asked.
Yes,
that's good.
At least 20 minutes a day outside of school. And so with summer learning loss, you really they need to be reading more than that, 30, 45 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be all at once. But again, keeping their brain active, stimulated, is the best way to do that. And
as I'm listening to you, I don't read 20 minutes a day.
You do read. You read your scripts.
I know, but it's like I feel like if I go home and I try to read a book, 5 minutes I'm like sleeping.
So if
like
you are going down Instagram and you're reading headlines and reading comments, does that count as reading?
Well, not the kind of reading that we would like to promote.
Right.
I'm here for the comments.
That does constitute reading, right. But we really like to promote, learning, because books really expose children to words that they otherwise wouldn't hear.
Absolutely.
Through and full words that they wouldn't see, quite frankly. The POV and the LOLs, right. There are words behind those things too that will keep them engaged. But I mean, that's really one of the blessings of books, is that they expose children to words they otherwise wouldn't hear. I mean, how many times do you hear cow, refrigerator, things that you normally wouldn't have in conversation? Plus, it takes them places that they otherwise wouldn't see
the imagination
in life, and
love
so
that.
it triggers that imagination, the creativity. It can be as a basis for conversations with your kids. What are they reading about? To maybe relating to things that maybe you happen to have seen a cow somewhere, in a field, or not just what you're eating. And just talking with their kids about what they're reading, what you like to read, and of course, letting your children see you read is so important. But you mentioned Barbara Bush. She was an advocate for literacy for more than 3 decades.
That's the butterfly
which is really,
you're wearing.
yes, and so she would have turned 100 this coming Sunday, and so in honor of her birthday, one of the things that we're doing is of course, continuing to promote her legacy of literacy. But we partnered with Kenneth J. Lane to design this beautiful butterfly brooch.
Wow.
And so we're selling these for $100, which will provide 20 new books to children in need.
So you can buy that.
So you can buy this. You can go to our website at barbarabushhouston.org.
It's very nice.
/butterfly. And anyway, it's a very well made. You know, Kenneth J. Lane is an icon. He actually designed the double strand pearl necklace that Mrs. Bush wore at the inaugural ball. So there's some relationship there, and so some significance that we love, and of course the blue butterfly, you know, signifies hope, prosperity. So those are all of things that Mrs. Bush believed that literacy can help people further.
And she's done that for the Houston community for so long. I mean, we were lucky enough, my son and I were fortunate enough to go to her funeral. I mean, not many times do you have, you know, a first lady or even George Bush Sr. right here in the area where we were able to attend the funeral. There were butterflies and different things like that, just to show, you know, the community how much she cared.
Yeah, she did. They gave so much back to not just our country, but here. I mean, they lived here for 50 years. And so, I mean, they loved Houston. This was their adopted hometown. We love them back. And, you know, what better way to honor their legacy by continuing to further promote literacy here in their hometown. And, you know, President Bush always was a big proponent. They both were of service and philanthropy. So at this time of year, you know, when we're celebrating her 100th milestone birthday, we're hoping that the Houston community will continue to step up and give of their time or their talent to demonstrate the power of literacy and you know, keep our mission going forward.
All right, and it's probably really important to start the reading at the beginning of summer and not towards the middle, or it's like, all right, let's start reading. You got to get ready for school, and it almost seems like a chore. But if you start it from the beginning of summer, it probably stays, you know, with them a little longer.
Great, and you know what? You know, you talk about, oh, kids, you know, aren't really wanting to do those things. Well, incentivize them. You know, reward them. You know, create, you know, some great things that you can do. And both public library systems, Harris County and Houston Public Library Systems, have summer reading programs where, you know, they can earn great things. So, you know, we all like to be incentivized, you know, whether it's extrinsic or intrinsic, you know, and so get those extrinsic motivators out and, you know, keep a reading journal and, you know, reward your child, because it is important for them to know that reading, you know, reading is important to you as a parent, as a family, that you care about their future.
Love that. Julie Baker Fame, thank you so much.
One more time, where can they get it?
Butterfly pen at barbarabushhouston.org/butterfly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to our inaugural show.
All right, I know. Thank
First
you.
interview, live interview. Love that.
So I will always remember this. Thank you so much.
So will we.
Yes.
All right, you guys, we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back. That was good.
Hello everyone, Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade here. It's time to get an update on what's popping, what's happening in the tropics. Of course, you may be thinking it's hurricane season already, but this year is flying by. Really, once you get past the holidays, it's just full speed ahead. So yes, we've arrived to the second day of hurricane season. Of course, yesterday was the first, and this is the second day of the Atlantic Basin hurricane season. Of course, in the Eastern Pacific, we've been in hurricane season since May 15th. So the one thing that we don't want to happen for this year, of course, is to have a direct impact from a tropical storm or hurricane. Of course, it only takes one for it to be a very bad, damaging, devastating season. And last year we had that one. Fortunately, it wasn't a major hurricane, and fortunately it didn't just kind of sit over Houston for days and days and dump 20, 30, 40 inches of rain. However, even though Hurricane Beryl last year was a quick mover, it still caused quite a bit of damage. In fact, before it reached H-Town, it had peak intensity winds of 165 miles per hour. That was a Cat 5 before it did reach the Texas Gulf Coast. But fortunately, it did weaken to a Category 1, and it was in a weaker state, but it still did a lot of damage. 67 tornadoes reported over a 3-day span across the eastern U.S., and right here in Houston, Beryl produced over 12 inches of rainfall for parts of Houston and caused over 2 million Houstonians to be without power. Total damage more than 8 billion. So you really don't even have to have a super powerful hurricane to have a lot of damage. Beryl was a 1. We could have a 2, 3, Category 4 or Category 5. So hopefully we don't get that this season. However, this is what we are dealing with as far as our chance for tropical activity. This is the official NOAA preseason forecast, and we're talking about a 60% chance for above normal precipitation, or for above normal tropical activity rather, for the area. So we are monitoring the Eastern Pacific, we are monitoring the Atlantic Basin, and right now the Eastern Pacific is quiet again after Tropical Storm Alvin. Of course, Alvin developed into a tropical storm last Thursday. It fell apart Saturday right around Cabo, so no longer an issue. But we do have a new development for today. We're watching for possible development off of the southeastern U.S. coast. It's only a low chance right now, but it is something interesting that we are monitoring. So check out South Florida. In between Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami, there's a ton of rain here. We've got marine warnings, we've got flood advisories, numerous showers and storms rolling across parts of the Florida Peninsula. Right now, this activity is disorganized and it's not even close to being anything tropical. However, it's something to watch because you could see the colder, higher cloud tops of some of those stronger storms on our satellite, and they're rolling across Florida. But some of this thunderstorm activity is expected to kind of move just offshore of the southeastern U.S. and kind of hang out or camp out there for the next few days. So really over the next few days, 0% chance for tropical development. But for the next 7 days, there will be a low 10% chance that maybe a few of these showers and storms could get better organized. We are expecting at least a non-tropical low to form off of the southeast U.S. coast. That low could develop some tropical characteristics over the next week. So if that happens, it would likely be moving northeast around 10 to 15 miles per hour. So if you do have some plans, maybe some vacation plans to travel over to parts of the Carolina coast, the Georgia coast, maybe right off of the east coast of Florida near Jacksonville, there could be some potential issues. Of course, right now it is a low chance. What does our exclusive Fox weather model show? Well, it shows some scattered development, some showers and storms, maybe a little better organization by Wednesday afternoon right off of the eastern Florida coast in between Palm Bay, Port Orange, and Jacksonville. Notice this starts to kind of push north and northeast, maybe bringing some heavy downpours and some gusty wind, and maybe some higher tide levels, a little bit of storm surge up towards Charleston and Wilmington. So if this develops, it likely would be more towards Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. A low chance now, but it is something that we are monitoring closely. So likely not coming to H-Town, but still we're looking at it and monitoring for any intensification. What will be coming to Houston will be the Saharan dust. We're about to get into dust season. This comes all the way from the west coast of Africa, and it does push through the Atlantic into the Caribbean, and it will be moving into the Gulf. So by Friday and Saturday, you will look up and you'll likely notice a lot of haze or dusty skies. So we are going to experience a bigger chance for hazy, hot, humid weather this weekend. And that means the air quality likely won't be the greatest with all of that dust in the air. So keep that in mind. So a little dust headed our way, but at least we're not talking about any tropical storms or hurricanes. The first name that we'll have once we do get a tropical storm or hurricane would be Andrea. And this is going to be the list that we get those names from as we go through the season. Andrea, Barry, Chantal, all the way down to Wendy, but we're hoping none of those head our way. Of course, with hurricane season officially upon us, we are in kind of the quiet part of hurricane season. Typically June, usually not much action. July, not much more action. But remember, last year on July 8th, Hurricane Beryl came in July. So we can get hurricanes this early in the season, but usually the chance is lower. Once you get into August and especially September, which is the peak of hurricane season, that is when things really start to pop. So certainly keep that in mind. For the October, November months, hurricane season still going strong, especially the first 2 weeks of October. After that, we kind of start to see things fall off as we get into November. And then, of course, the end of November officially marks us saying goodbye to this year's hurricane season. So we've got a long way to go. We've got several months to get through. And like I said, September 10th being the peak of hurricane season. And we are hoping that we don't get hit by anything. But of course, now is the time to prepare because it is quiet. You don't want to wait until we get a named storm or until we get something heading towards us potentially to start to get that disaster supply kit ready. Go over your insurance papers, make sure you've got that flood insurance, go over your evacuation routes, and make sure you've got the supplies you need to stay safe. All right, let's talk about some cruise weather. Maybe you're hopping on a cruise ship or you know some friends, some family that will be heading towards Cozumel, Mexico over the next few days. There's some good news and some bad news. Cruise stops for today looking hot and steamy, but overall not a ton of rain. But I think after midnight, those rain chances start to go up. Tuesday, not as hot, but there's going to be about a 70 to 80% chance for downpours. That's the last thing you want for your cruise weather. Wednesday, still not looking that great. There will be a disturbance that will continue to bring the downpours, 85 degrees, and we will have those showers and storms still a good bit, around a 60 to 80% chance. So if you're hopping on Royal Caribbean, Carnival, or maybe one of the other cruise lines, and you are heading towards Cozumel, prepare for, unfortunately, some clouds that'll be thicker and some downpours. But overall, we are monitoring everything happening in the tropics. Of course, we'll have these tropical updates for you daily, but just keep in mind that we do have one potential disturbance now off of the southeastern coast of the U.S., and we will be watching for any additional development. So keep checking back with us at Texas Live and Local Daily. I'll have your tropical update for y'all. Feature more cities for our cruise forecast, and we're going to make sure you are prepared, whether you're going on a cruise or whether you're wondering if any tropical action is headed your way. Well, that will do it for your tropical update for today. No tropical storms or hurricanes to worry about just yet, but we are keeping a close eye on the Eastern Pacific, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf. And of course, if anything pops up, you will be the first to know. Keep it here. Of course, we're going to have more on Texas Live and Local after the break. Thank you. I was trying to
All right, welcome back to Texas Live and Local. I'm Anthony Antoine.
I am
Coco Dominguez.
Guys, welcome to our first show.
Yes, first one. Going pretty good, must say myself.
I do say so myself. Shout out to everyone in Texas, Amarillo, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. I mean, even around here, Corpus Christi, Pearland. I mean, you name it, we're coming to you.
And that's the thing. The focus of this show here on the Monday to Friday for 1 hour, 4 to 5. We're going to be focusing on what's happening all across Texas.
Yes.
So obviously, H-Town is home base. Yeah. But we're going to go all across Texas, bring you guys news and what's happening out there. So if you're in Austin, you can go have a good time on the weekend because we're going to let you guys know what's happening in your community. So it's all good.
Yeah, and you guys can reach us as well. If there's something that you know is happening in your area, let us know. We want to feature not only Houston, but all of you as well.
All right, so now we're going to go down south a little bit here, leaving from H-Town. We're going to head to Sugar Land because we got the Space Cowboys, a very popular baseball team down there.
Yes, national champs last year.
Yep, reigning champs.
All right, and so there are a lot of things that the Space Cowboys do. Not just, we're in the season now, but throughout the entire year. Tell us, you brought some goodies. Tell us what you got.
Yes, yeah, we're the AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros. So we're like the fun little extension of what you can get downtown, you know? So come out to Sugar Land. So we run a lot of really fun promotions, a lot of fun, like family-oriented things. We play from the end of March to the end of September. So we have a long season, and we fill all 75 of those games with fun things. So the stuff that you see out here actually coming up this weekend, we're doing a little 3-day rebrand. So we're playing as the Payasos del Rodeo de Sugar Land. And so we're basically rebranding as the Rodeo Clowns. So we'll have...
Payasos means clown, guys.
I was just going to ask.
Little Spanish lesson. Payaso means clown. I'll be the representative of the Latinos over here, Anthony. Yeah, so you're doing a rebranding for some fun for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like a Hispanic initiative, but it's also sort of the country western theme. You know, people in Houston love rodeo. We couldn't stay away from it. And like the rodeo clown side is like so fun too. So you'll see, you know, the logo that's like painted on our mascot there. Like it's the fun paint. So we'll do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll be doing that. So Friday, you can come out early. We're doing free line dancing lessons out on the concourse.
Cute.
Yeah, so we have a local group coming out and doing that. We have a post-game concert on Saturday. It's the tribute to the Queen of Tejano. She is fantastic. She's
really
amazing.
good.
She's going to sing the national anthem that night too, and it's so fun. So that'll be after the game, and fans get to go on the field, and it's open to anybody that bought a ticket. So.
And that facility is so great. I mean, if you've never been, they've got the kids play area. There's bars and different setups everywhere. I love it. I love it there.
Oh yeah, it's a full. I tell people it's a full 360 experience because literally you can walk around the entire ballpark, which you can't do that at all minor league stadiums. You know, sometimes it cuts you off for the outfield, but our outfield sometimes will be busier than some of the seating bowl sections because the people will go outside. Yeah, we have a splash pad in center field, so you've got kids running around in swimsuits, and then we have a gigantic playground out there. So a lot of times, you know, families will just stay and hang out there the whole time because it's a beautiful view of the field too.
And everything seems to be a great seat. Like you're never too far away from the field. I love that.
Exactly. And our tickets, I mean, they start as low as $9 too. So,
talk about parking.
Super simple. We're out in the suburbs, so you know you don't have to worry about downtown traffic. So we've got huge surface lots out there. You know, the Talliard Brewing Company is brand new. They're out sort of like at the edges of our parking lot too. So a lot of people we're finding are like going there pregame and heading over to our ballpark. So kind of building a fun environment over there for that.
And Amy, if you guys don't know, Amy is the director of marketing down there, right? So just talk about what you and your team like put into all this stuff, because all this stuff, the rebranding for the week, it's a lot of work that you guys put into this.
It is, yeah. We're planning year round for this. I mean, to be completely honest, I'm already planning for next year's stuff, you know? So like we are doing some of the day of stuff, you know, as we go like, hey, in 2 weeks, like who we're bringing out for this, but some of the big picture stuff like this rebrand and stuff, you know, we're putting in the work during the off season, you know, getting with the local community members, hey, like what makes sense, what's going to resonate, you know, we survey our fans just to get feedback from them. So we're constantly working on new and fun ideas. I don't know if you guys heard, but tomorrow, Wednesday, we're doing a tribute to the penny night. And it was just like a last minute thing we thought of, but they're retiring the penny. Yeah. So you can come to our game for 1 penny. You can get a ticket.
Oh my God. If you can find a penny in your house.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow,
so 1 cent.
That's super creative.
What
That's
night
really
is that?
good.
It's this Tuesday and Wednesday.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, for families out there, you know, a penny or like tickets cheap as $9, like that's a huge difference, because you're talking about this atmosphere you've created here for families, and it's that cheap. That's really like,
and kids are looking for, parents are looking for something to do with them.
That's amazing.
And this is an experience. You're not, I mean, not that the park isn't great, but this is something in addition that for a penny, what a great deal. Really, I love that.
Yeah. We also, one more thing too, we did just launch a family pass, which is a brand new thing, but you know, obviously just with the way everything is, we're trying to find like good value at the ballpark. So $199, you get 4 tickets to every Sunday through Thursday game for the rest of the season and a hot dog. So 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs to every game.
That is amazing. And talk real quick, we're almost out of time, but about the talent that you get to see from the team.
Yeah, exactly. You get up close and personal with these guys. Jacob Melton just made his debut this weekend for the Astros, but the week before that, he's playing in Sugar Land, you know. So a lot of these guys, Lance McCullers came for rehab a few weeks ago. So
you get a lot of those names. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course.
Guys, get in on that action.
Amy Johnson, the marketing director at the Space Cowboys.
That's
we
me.
appreciate you.
Yes, we'll see you all year round. You guys do some great things all throughout the year.
All right, so next up let's go to Austin, Coco. We haven't been there just yet today.
No, we have not. All right, Austin, you're known for some great water. You're known for lots of great things. So lately, they've added a new thing, water taxis. So let's see what that's all about.
It's an electric hydrofoiling boat. That is a boat that flies. It's a boat and a plane. So it rings underwater, and at a certain speed, it rises up, like 4 feet above the water.
The Four Seasons is taking boat riding to new heights with the Navier N30.
What we are doing here is we have partnered with Four Seasons Lake Austin Private Residences, and we are really bringing luxury hospitality on the water.
In the summer months, Lake Austin draws thousands to the waterway for recreational activities, bringing in large amounts of revenue for boat and jet ski rental companies. Sampriti Bhattacharya, the founder and CEO of Navier, says the new technology is a more sustainable option with zero emissions and no seasickness.
When they take their guests on the water, it's still this loud gas-guzzling boats with the smell of fumes. Like there is, it doesn't really add up. That's where our boat really fills in the gap. I think it's time to make sure we can preserve the, serenity and the beauty of this lake by embracing sustainable boating and innovation.
According to the CEO, the electric boats are multi-purpose.
Either as a shuttle to go from one point to another on the lake, for a sunset ride, for a picnic on the lake. It has so many use cases. It will be the in-house amenity for Four Seasons, and their guests and residents will be able to enjoy it.
Bhattacharya says the Navier N30 is worth nearly $1 million and has military-grade technology on board.
The goal is really to scale this for, everyday transportation for lakes and oceans and coastal cities across the world.
Okay, when we first talked about
you weren't ready. Anthony wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for that. That's next level.
What did you picture?
At least being on the water, like the thing is like levitating from the water with just like, what is that?
I don't know. It's a water taxi.
It's a water taxi.
So yeah, I'm okay with the water. Anything on the water is me.
Actually going up there in Austin to spend a weekend is actually on my bucket list. I've been up there like one time to just visit the University of Texas because my niece and nephew came down, but that was the only thing I visited. But I really want to get around the city of Austin, like some of the concerts.
And Lake Travis in that area. I've been to Lake Travis. They have the fastest zip lining in the state of Texas. Yeah, I battled against Ruben Dominguez.
Not you out here battling Ruben.
Yeah, it was Dominguez versus Dominguez. We did a whole. We did it. We got to run that back because I probably run it back. We'll have that for you sometime later. It was the only thing he beat me at. So
I'm not surprised because you're a winner, Coco. You're a winner at all times.
First show, guys. He's already doing the right thing.
That's what being a good co-anchor is, we're bouncing off each other. But listen, so you don't even have to go all the way to Austin, though, right? Because something else is happening in Lake Conroe, a little bit closer.
Yes, I was there last week, and when I heard the word jet cars, I had no idea, just like you didn't know about the water taxi.
Let me picture what this one looks like.
This is a jet car at Lake Conroe. It's a 1097 water sports. So you don't see these often. Take a look. 1097 Water Sports. Now we are right next to Lake Conroe Beach Park. But right now, turn your focus to the latest, the greatest addition to his fleet. These are jet cars. First of all, I've never seen any of these in person. Tell me what they are.
These are jet cars. These are high-powered sports luxury cars that is designed to ride like a boat, or better yet, like a very powerful jet ski.
What do they feel like? Okay, we're gonna get in it. Okay, you show me how to get
Oh,
in.
they're very sturdy, very strong.
So
just
you
step
just
right.
climb over the
yeah,
top.
just step right on the top.
Okay,
No, no, just step.
just walk.
Just walk.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Have a seat. Sit down.
Okay.
Good. Here you. How is that?
It's wonderful. This is
All right.
I'm
All
excited.
right.
Do I have to put a seatbelt on?
There's no seatbelt.
Okay, I don't need one. Thanks, Captain. All right, and how far can you go out?
Oh, you can go as far as you like.
Oh,
This lake is
wow.
23 miles long.
Oh, we are balling out here. We are living the luxury life on Lake Conroe.
They're very easy to drive.
Good.
Actually, I'm going to show you how to do it.
Look at this. OMG. How long do you rent these for?
You can rent it for a half an hour or a full hour. $150 and half an hour.
Oh, that's a lot of time. You
That's
get
all
out
the time
here.
you need. Yeah,
Oh
two of
my
them.
gosh, and these are gonna go quick. You still got jet skis, you got a freaking pirate ship, you got canoes and all kind of stuff. All right, guys, we will, that's all right, we're still working on
We're
the
good, we're good.
working on the landing.
Well, it's your turn.
What are some tips?
It's very easy. You got two pedals. This one is forward, this one is reverse.
Okay.
The steering is just like a jet ski. It's not a car steering wheel. You just turn slightly to the left, slightly to the right.
Okay.
Okay, but you got to really hold on to it. This is a high-power car. You're going to feel the power, you're going to feel the energy, and you're going to love it.
You're scaring me. How fast can we go?
I'm going to be right there with you. It's going to be okay. We can actually go up to 70 miles an hour.
70 miles.
We're not going to try that today. That is for the pros.
I mean, I didn't say I was.
Okay.
No, I just want to get going.
Are you ready now?
Yes.
There's nowhere for me to, I have to scoot
This
up.
this is gas. That's forward, and that's reverse.
No, she's saying, do you have a way to move the seat up?
No.
Oh, to move the seat up? Actually, no. This is one size fit all. Are you ready?
size fits all. I'm ready.
You see that red button right there?
Uh-huh.
You push that button, and you're only going in reverse. So you're only going to use that pedal over there. Good. And remember now.
If you steer to the right, it'll back to the left.
Oh, it's opposite. That's
yes,
right.
opposite.
Opposite day on the. Okay, let me get this right. Hold on.
Just give it a little gas.
Wait.
A little gas. There you go. No, not this one. That one.
Oh, I thought. Oh, backwards gas.
Yes.
So it's all gas, no brakes. Oh, wait.
No,
Wait, hold on.
break.
No, I'm trying to turn.
There you go. Look at you.
Okay, that's right. You gotta keep
Now you can go forward. I think she got it.
Yo, are you doing donuts in Lake Conroe right now?
I am doing donuts. He's like, you want to do a donut? I'm like, absolutely.
I gotta say, that looks like a lot of fun.
It was huge. I did not think it was the size of a real car.
Yeah.
Now, it does take, you ever had a boat where you got to go opposite?
Yeah.
You got to think about it.
Think
you know,
about
when
which
you
way
first
direction
get-
you're going in.
But I started off doing donuts not on purpose, and he's like, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just hold it to where
Wait,
I am."
and how fast does it go? Like how?
Up to 70 miles an hour.
But that's probably not. Did he say any like safety reasons? You probably don't want to go 70 miles per hour.
You
That's not-
probably don't, because there's so many different other water sports that are happening,
Yeah.
even that they rent themselves. You want to be safe and always,
Yeah.
but no, 70 miles an hour is.
That's a lot.
Not that I don't want to, but I did not. But you do have to. But it is fast. It's powerful. It's loud. It was unlike anything I thought it.
And like I haven't seen anything like that around this area. That's, I mean, pretty new for this area.
Yeah, that's why it was a Bayou City Buzz. It was buzzing. They do have two at 1097 Water Sports, so shout out to them over there.
All right, Coco, love that segment. Hey,
Thank you.
we got to pay the bills,
Yeah.
so we got to take a quick commercial break. But when we get back, we're going to talk about some salsa here from a Tomball-based company.
Texas Live and Local. We are back. I am Coco Dominguez.
And I'm Anthony Antoine. We've had a really fun show here. It is now 4:48, but now we got to dive into some other really good topics here. One of them being the queen of country music herself. You know what I'm talking about?
Miss 9 to 5.
Miss 9 to 5, Dolly Parton.
Yes, she taught us everything we need to know about work and what to do with your mean bosses. All right, from Jolene to Cuisine, the Wake Up Show tried some of Dolly's goodness.
I didn't know she was even venturing into this space, but now we'll see what the morning show thinks about the food that she's putting out there.
From Hollywood to Dollywood for the 6 a.m. feeding. So, did you know that Dolly wants us to have dinner with her?
That's right. Dinner for breakfast this morning, ladies.
Love it.
So, Dolly Parton, the one and only Dolly, she's branching out from country music to country cooking. She's got this brand new line of frozen meals. Let me tell you, I went all over looking for these things.
Yes.
Apparently, they're very popular. I finally found them at my local Walmart. And I paid, I think, $12 for 3 of them. Okay,
that's not bad
at all.
And I'm
so,
sorry, guys, I don't want to spill out. The chicken
okay.
and dumplings, 390 calories. It says.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
So you can look like Dolly too.
All right, so I mean, I have the chicken fried steak
and
here.
She doesn't have a knife, so I hope you.
I'm going to go ahead and say the chicken and dumplings is going to be better than the chicken fried steak.
Agreed.
I think that's probably the best one.
But that's a good price.
Yeah, the one that was sold out was the shrimp and grits. So I think that one is the one that may be the best.
That's the winner.
But we're
I
not
think that's
getting
pretty.
the
The dumplings are good.
Are we?
Oh, did we go to black?
Oh, they didn't want to
there
put
we
us
go.
on TV.
Okay. So how is it?
The dumplings are really good.
Yes.
They're like little.
I don't know if I even
like
want to try this
little
one.
pockets.
Oh, okay.
The chicken fried steak. Okay, let's try.
I want to try green beans. See if that's good.
I'm gonna try.
Allison,
carrot.
you're the chef, so you would know.
I like the chicken and dumplings. Green beans are good.
I do, and they also have which I was hoping we would get. They have roast beef also. A pot roast. No,
Pot
roast.
I was hoping for.
We'll be trying that in the break.
It's still in the microwave, so just you wait. You sit tight, and when you get off the air, you're gonna get that pot
I knew
roast.
it. Okay, so the only thing with frozen meals, although I
How
do
much
like it, is that
sodium?
I'm kind of like salted verse. Yeah. So the sodium is 1,280 milligrams. That's 56% of your daily.
Hot.
You know, but
Look at this one. Look at this one. They gave me 500 calories. For the chicken fried steak one.
Yeah, but you only ate 2 calories worth
I only ate a
because you
little
didn't
bit.
want
Ooh,
to eat
that's
it.
hot. It's like burning my chest now. Okay.
I approve.
Carrots are good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to try this one?
We would. I did have
good.
a bite. It was good.
Yeah.
I did like the chicken and dumplings. Okay.
Waiting for
Allison.
the pot roast to come through
Yes.
the door.
So is baby happy?
Anything Dolly, I support.
You know, we were behind her 100%. All right, so now we got a very good local business we want to tell you guys about here. We have Catherine Myers, the owner of Bernie Brand. She is here with lots of
Award-winning
goodies.
hot sauce. You're from the Houston area in Walmart, guys. She's in Walmart. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. We're excited about this. Walmart actually is doing Walmart Open Call, and that's how we got to meet them and present to them our products. We're very excited to partner with them. You know, they're investing in small business nationwide, and for us to be able to partner with them and for them to support us is like a huge step for us moving forward. And
You love hot sauce?
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, how did you find yourself in this space?
So I can't wait to start tasting
Absolutely.
this.
Everything spicy is amazing. And so the original jalapeno is what we got started with first. You think of Tex-Mex and barbecue dishes, you got fresh green jalapenos.
Can I taste while you're talking?
Yeah, pop that
Absolutely, please do. If you want to just grab a pretzel.
Do I have to taste it with a pretzel?
No, you don't have to. We've got spoons
This
here.
is how I roll. Oh yeah, give me some of that because I'll put the sucker
That's
straight in
what's
my
so
mouth.
great about this. It's
I'm telling you, I could drink some hot sauce. Like it's not hot enough till I start crying.
Yeah, it's
And
all
this is
jalapeno. All
Okay.
jalapeno, yeah.
So like, what's this? Not the secret.
Get
but,
me
like,
hotter.
You know what I mean? But like, what makes this one like? How did
Yeah.
you settle on this like flavor palette?
So you think of Tex-Mex and barbecue. There's fresh green jalapenos that accent all those cuisines. So why not make a hot sauce out of it that represents Texas? And that is our newest one that we just launched today online.
Oh,
that is
good.
garlic forward.
It's like I just want more.
That is garlic for the garlic lovers. So it's garlic forward. It's got cayenne pepper.
What great flavors.
Yeah, they all have their own flavor profile, and Walmart carries all 4 of them. And so we're very excited
Which
that they're
is the
all on shape.
spiciest?
I would say the hot rodeo is probably the
Is
one
that open?
You can open it for sure.
Hot rodeo.
That is
guys,
habanero.
let's go right now. Habanero.
Habanero and Aji amarillo peppers.
I am not afraid. Hold on a second.
Yes, by all means. I can
I
open
like
that for
these.
you.
I like these.
Yes. The flavors are so great.
Thank
Congratulations. You. I mean, both of them.
First of all, Coco, you just taking spoonfuls of this?
That's the way.
Listen, I'm over here with a pretzel.
Look, I know. This is how I roll.
She's a hot sauce agent already.
I'm over here about
just
to sweat.
Just don't call me
spicy. Do you have a favorite, Catherine?
Well, I really reached for this one in particular just because it has that heat level, but each of them have their own distinct flavor profile.
I love a good hot sauce.
Yeah, so they Bernie, that's right.
Bernie, because it almost Bernie's.
There you go.
That is amazing. And what are the price ranges?
Yeah, so Walmart carries them for $4.97 per bottle on shelf. Yeah.
Okay, this is my favorite, the original jalapeno.
Yeah, that one's light.
So good. They've got different flavors.
This one is good too. The hot rodeo. I'm not like I'm gonna start sweating here in a second. Look at me. Look at me on camera. Hot stuff make me sweat, but this is like good.
Tasty.
I like. Yeah, it's tasty.
Yes.
So much flavor in that.
None of them are meant or designed to overwhelm you by heat or too much, heat level on your food.
Yeah.
You want to eat it. You want to enjoy it. You want to experience it. And so we're excited that Walmart understood our brand. You know, they literally shelved us between where hot sauce meets barbecue, and that's where we live. And so we're grateful to partner with a retail powerhouse like them.
And so she grew up. You're kind of by Austin, right? By East Houston?
That's where I grew up, southeast part of Houston.
Yes. Oh, you meant Austin High School.
Yes.
Oh, because I was asking her where she went to school. So Austin High School, because we are servicing the entire Texas area.
That's right.
So congratulations.
Thank you so
that's
much.
so amazing.
What are you most proud of?
Honestly, it's taking something from the ground up, believing in it so much so that you are willing to bet on it and put everything forward, and to take something from an idea to a live and product that's in demand is just astonishing, and I'm ready to take it forward.
We are proud of you.
Yes, we are proud of you. You're leaving these hot sauce with us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Enjoy
it. Rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Catherine Myers, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thank you guys for joining us for our very first episode of Texas Live and Local.
Yes,
we'll see you tomorrow.
We've got so much more this week. Make sure you join us 4 p.m.
Fox 26 News at 5 starts now.
Today on Fox 26 News at 5, the state has extended its takeover of Houston ISD, what it means for families. Also a development in the Jocelyn Nungary case. The Harris County District Attorney's Office is requesting a revised gag order after the former district attorney did an interview right here on Fox 26. And the suspect in a terror attack in the Boulder, Colorado area is facing federal hate crime charges. Fox 26 News at 5 starts now.
First, the takeover continues for HISD. The Texas Education Agency says its work is far from over, extending its intervention of the state's largest school district. Fox 26's Sherman Cassell joining us live outside HISD headquarters with what the agency says is driving this big decision. Sherman.
Yeah, good evening, Rashi. So the TEA says that the improvements that have been made in this district are undeniable, but they have yet